You guys have a lot of opinions on last night's Dancing with the Stars. Tyra made her hosting debut of the new season, or on the new season rather, of Dancing with the Stars last night, replacing longtime host Tom Bergeron. Watch.
I cannot believe it. I am finally here. You guys, my family and I have been fans of this show since day one. And look, Mama, I'm in the ballroom. I'm in the ballroom and I get to say, welcome to Dancing with the Stars.
All right, so a lot of you were applauding her. However, not everyone's a fan. One person tweeted, "Can Tyra please be the first one sent home?" Ooh, another one wrote, "The problem with Tyra Banks as a host is that you replace the heart of the show. Nothing against her, but it just sounds so off when you hear her voice instead of Tom Bergeron's. People want comfort. It's just a really poor decision." Okay, Erica, I'm going to start with you. Is Tyra the right host for this show? Will she grow into the role? Will people finally accept her?
You know, here's the thing. No one is paying Tyra Banks type money for Tyra Banks if there wasn't some type of research behind that. So I'm going to assume that she is the right fit for the show because obviously there was a whole lot of opinions that came up with this one. Tyra's fabulous no matter what she does, so maybe she's going to bring, you know, a little bit of spontaneity to the show.
What do you think, Jeff?
Well, I want to go off your point, Sam,
okay,
because you were talking about comfort before we started the segment.
Yes.
Why don't you go off that and then I'll go on.
Okay, so I love Tyra Banks, I do, but not for the host of the show, and I'll tell you why. Erica, don't hate me. I'm somebody that gets really into a routine of television watching, Dancing with the Stars, and I like to have my comfort, meaning like everything's predictable. That would mean Tom Bergeron's the host. And then the way I can liken it the most for me is when I think of Young and the Restless. Yes, I'm a soap opera fan. If somebody is going to change like Victor Newman's character or any of those main characters that I've grown up with and still watch and love to this day, I no longer feel like I'm eating my comfort food, and I know that's not fair. I know it's selfish, but that's the way I feel.
No, but I think a lot of people do, because I think even when Erin Andrews took over for Brooke Burke,
I didn't like it.
A lot of people didn't like it.
I still don't like it.
Because of their comfort. They were so attached to Brooke Burke, right? I remember when the Flintstones tried to pull this when I was a kid, Barney Rubble, they changed his voice, and I was like, who's this guy? That's not Barney, and it was a cartoon, and I was little, and I still noticed
I remember that with Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. The voice all of a sudden changed, and I was like, that's not Mickey's voice. Okay, so Erica, we're going down a rabbit hole here. I apologize. What else struck you? Like, what did you think about some of like the polarizing figures? Because you know that many.
Let's get into it.
Yes. Okay. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Tiger King star Carole Baskin danced the Paso Doble to the song "Eye of the Tiger," but it wasn't enough to win the judges over. She earned an 11 out of 30, which, by the way, was the lowest score of the night. Adding further insult to injury, the family of her missing husband, Don Lewis, aired a commercial asking for information about his disappearance. Look.
I'm Donna. I'm Don Lewis's oldest daughter. We need to know what happened to our father.
Don Lewis mysteriously disappeared in 1997. His family deserves answers. They deserve justice. Do you know who did this or if Carole Baskin was involved?
Wow, Carole Baskin has always denied any involvement in her former husband's disappearance. Erica, what do you think of Don Lewis's family calling her out? What did you make of her dancing? And how was she the biggest name on the marquee compared to like all the other big stars out there?
Because we all want to know how this woman is a household name, and apparently she is under suspicion for the mysterious disappearance and possible murder, and she's dancing around a ballroom. That's why we want to know. And the fact that the family is asking these questions in this way is 1,000,000% appropriate, because if that was my father, I would be at the ballroom asking some serious questions live on air.
Good for you, E. What did you think?
Where's the cancel culture outrage? People get accused of something 20 years ago for something that they misspoke, missaid, whatever it may be. Their lives are over. This woman allegedly murdered her husband, and you get on Dancing with the Stars? Where is the outrage, cancel culture?
It's interesting that you brought that up, right? Like, what constitutes everybody to come out with their pitchforks?